Okay, hello everyone. My name is Muhammad Wafri Ahmad Fauzi, and my matrix number is 205953.
Hello everyone, my name is Lai Wenting and my matrix number is 200021.
Hello everybody, my name is Muhammad Basit Shahin bin Muhammad Noor. My number matrix is 208532.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Wan Chenxi. My matrix number is 208794.
Hi everyone, my name is Samuel Tan Leong. My matrix number is 205790.
Hello everyone, my name is Wang Junran and my matrix number is 28764.
Okay, hey guys, my name is Hu Zhidong. My matrix number is 208766.
Hi, my name is Monica Parr and my matrix number is 206939.
Hi everyone, my name is Joker Tong. My matrix number is 200136.
Hello everyone, my name is Sheikh Isa Al-Abri and my matrix number is 195076.
Hello everyone, my name is Jiale. My matrix number is 208756. Thank you.
Okay, so good evening everyone. Thank you for gathering today. So now we are going to be discussing for our topics for the linguistic essays. So the topic that I found, subtopic for our theory, our topic is theories of second language acquisition. So I've done some digging and I've found a subtopic for me, which is the acculturation theory. Now, the acculturation theory is about how learners of a second language will learn through interaction with the people of the majority ethnicity. This is usually applied to immigrants and foreign workers and so on. I think it's relevant in the more globalizing world, and that's why I chose this theory. How about you guys?
Okay, hi guys. My name is Lai Wenting and my matrix number is 20021. So basically, I choose the social cultural theory as a subtopic of the second language acquisition series. And the reason why I choose this topic is that I think interpersonal communication between students and the teachers is indispensable for acquire knowledge, so which involves social cultural. So basically, this theory was contrasted by Vygotsky during the 20th century. So Vygotsky's social cultural theory views that the human development as a socially mediated process in which children acquire their cultural values, beliefs, and problem-solving strategies through collaborative dialogues with more knowledgeable members of society, like parents, caregiver, peers, and the culture. So these things were responsible for developing higher order functions of the children. And according to Vygotsky, learning has its basis in interacting with other people. So once this has occurred, the information is then integrated on the individual level. So other than that, this series also suggests that human learning is largely a social process. It's not only, it's also focused on how adults and peers influence individual learning. And lastly, according to Vygotski's theories, the children are born with the basics biological contrastants on their minds. So each culture provides tools of intellectual adaptations. So these tools allow students or children to use their abilities in a way that's adaptive to the culture. So I think that's all from me. Thank you. Next, please.
Thank you, Gloria. I think I'm going to continue. My name is Muhammad Basit Shahin bin Muhammad Noor. My number matrix is 208532. And I got the topic, which is universal grammar, hypothesis, and interlanguage. Okay, first of all, universal grammar or abbreviated as UG, was proposed by Noam Chomsky, refers to the highly abstract principle of grammar that constrain the form of any specific grammar that he has been more specifically stated in his government and binding theory, which is the GB theory. In the term of the innateness of the UG, it is believed that that children are born with some universal grammars, and without such principles, it would be impossible for the children to learn the grammar of his mother tongue, which is L1. Okay, next, I'm going to present about interlanguage theory. First of all, it was first proposed by Selinker. It refers to the bridging language between the source language and target language constructed by the second language learners, which is constantly dynamic moving towards the target language. And the second, it is believed that the interlanguage is transitional language that arising in the process of acquisition, which is L2. Last but not least, it is considered that the second language learner could never reach a high or advanced level as the same with the native speaker does. I think that's all from me regarding universal grammar and interlanguage. Thank you.
So thank you. My name is Wan Chenxi. My metric number is 208794. So my part is about the complexity theory. So my first main point is introduction to complexity theory. So complexity theory is an interdisciplinary system theory that fundamentally deals with change. Although it originated in physical science and mathematics, it has been widely used in social science and humanities. In essence, it is post-structuralism with its own ontology and epistemology. My second point is language and complex linear system have a lot in common. In the end, my last point is language disability. Language has undergone non-linear changes. For example, new forms enter and leave the language in an addictive and unpredictable way. In fact, different speakers may use different forms to express the same thing. The best thing we can do is to explain what happens after the change without having to make accurate predictions about what will happen next. So I think that's all part for me. Thank you. Next.
Thank you. So I'm Samuel and my metric number is 205790. And the topic that I find interesting is the acquisition learning hypothesis by Krashen. And this hypothesis basically states that language learning and language acquisition is two independent system, and it doesn't like correlate with each other. They have no relationship to each other. And Krashen personally think that language learning is less important than language acquisition, and I actually agree with Krashen because we cannot use the language on a daily basis if we just learn the language, but we have to acquire the language in order to like make function in our daily lives. And so this is actually quite important to be applied in the classroom. We should focus on language acquisition and as well as the importance of comprehensible input in this hypothesis. And Krashen did get a lot of critics about this hypothesis, saying that this is actually not accurate. But for me, I think this hypothesis is actually still quite relevant nowadays, and it should be researched deeply. So I would include that in my work. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Wang Juan and my matric number is 208764 and my subtopic is the monitor hypothesis. The monitor hypothesis is closely related to the acquisition learning hypothesis because it involves the relationship between acquisition and learning correction, emphasize that the result of learning is a monitoring machine that monitors and improves the language produced by learning. For example, checking for grammatical errors, but the switch on monitoring also makes it impossible for us to be natural. Only when the monitoring itself is well developed. Therefore, students at the beginning of learning should not be forced to talk. Because the monitoring itself has not had enough time to complete. Students rush to begin oral practice, resulting in later pronunciation and grammar errors. There are three conditions to use the monitor hypothesis. First, the acquirer or learner must know the given rule. Second, the acquirer must focus on correctness. And third, the acquirer or learner must have time to use the monitor. There are three types of users. Monitor over users, monitor and users, and optimal monitor users. And there are many difficulties with using monitors, which make them quite weak as a language tool. Such as know the monitor rules, time to use the monitor, and language rules constitute only a small part of our language ability. That's all. How about you guys?
Hello, my name is Monica Bart and my matrix number is 206939. So I'm going to discuss a little bit about input hypothesis. So basically, input hypothesis is the kernel theory of second language acquisition, where it explains how to acquire a second language. Okay, so input hypothesis is really significant to be applied in the teaching classroom so that teachers are able to improve their teaching ability and students also are able to improve their language skills of speaking and communicating among themselves. Input hypothesis also should include the teaching method of student-centered learning, where the students are able to participate actively in the classroom. So I think that will be all from me. Thank you, guys.
Monica. So the theory I found about second language acquisition was proposed by Stephen Krashen, called affective filter hypothesis. So I'll just talk about this. Stephen Krashen described the affective filters as a number of affective variables that contributes to second language acquisition. Affective filter is like a filter which filters the amount of the learner's acceptance and of information or inputs. He pointed out three categories or factors that can influence the second language acquisition. These are motivation, anxiety, and self-confidence. He believes that motivation is a desire and impetus of learners. Anxiety becomes a psychological barrier, and self-confidence is the most important among personality factors. So like in essence, well, when emotions such as anxiety, embarrassment, or fear are elevated, the effective filter is high, so that it becomes difficult for language acquisition to occur. In opposition, when affective filter is lowered, which means that, for example, maybe the students feel comfortable in your class or they have enough self-confidence or something else, then the language acquisition occurs. So I think Krashen's affective filter hypothesis has a great practical effects on the second language acquisition. That's all from me.
Thank you very much for all the information that you shared with us. For me, I'll also talk about a hypothesis by Krashen. It's the natural order hypothesis. So for my hypothesis, it simply says that when learners are actually acquiring the language, they acquire the grammatical rules in a predetermined sequence. Meaning that when learners are actually learning acquiring grammatical structures, it comes naturally in their unconscious mind. Meaning that, for example, if they are learning like how to ask questions in English, they will most likely acquire the yes/no questions first, and then maybe the WH questions. So it comes in a sequence that, like, not in the sequence that the teacher teach in the classroom, but actually it's something based on their unconscious mind, and it's a way that most of the learners learn it in the same way. But the interesting thing about this hypothesis is that like for the first language and for the second language, even if it's the same language, like if it's as a first language, the natural order will be different than when you learn the same language as a second language. I think that this is all for me. Thank you.
Okay, thanks for presenting. My name is Hu Zhidong. My metric number is 28766. My topic is behaviors, the theory in second language acquisition. Okay. In order to understand this theory, we must first understand that language has nothing to do with innate behavior. From the perspective of behavioral psychology, all human or animal language behaviors are acquired behaviors. Language can be acquired and it can be despaired. According to the Pavlov's dog, the results shows me like bells or red lights that do not appear, instinctual reflexes innately appear because it is always accompanied by stimuli that may cause instinctual reflex. Therefore, after many repetitions, this neutral stimulus will also cause instinctive reflex. Psychologists eventually expanded Pavlov's experiments. They discovered a new type of condition called working conditions. In the 1960s or 1950s, applied behavioral psychology became popular in all types of learning, including language learning. Foreign language behavior learners are organisms whose behavior is regulated. Like audio linguistics proves this theory very well. This is a teaching method derived from behaviorist theory. Concentrating on language learning is the formation of habit. They regarded language as a formation of habit and dialogue and training as a basis of learning. Dialogue is used for repetition and memory, emphasizing correct pronunciation, rhythm, and intonation. Therefore, when a second language learner know what they are talking, and they can get a higher level of learning is writing, because this will seen as an interference with habit formation. Okay, in short, behaviors language learner is a condition reflex established through imitation, reinforcement, and habit formation. Although this theory has its shortcomings, it also has certain advantages and still has a certain influence on second language teaching in some aspects. Okay, thank you. That's all for me.
Okay, thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Jia Le, and my student number is 208756. In my article, I mainly mentioned the role of reading hypothesis in actual teaching, as well as its specific application methods and its ability to bring students and teachers have some benefits. This theory requires the cooperation of teachers and students. When students or teachers see the improvement of their grades, their cooperation will be easier and easier. Of course, this is based on introduction of Stephen Kroshen's reading hypothesis theory. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Yeah, very, very interesting theories which we have all chosen. So back to my theory just now. My name is Muhammad Wafri Ahmad Fauzi, and my metric number is 205953. Because I did not say my name just now. And my theory is by Schumann, who wrote his theory in 1986. And as I said, it was about acculturation, and it has to do a bit with the psychology of the person who moves to another country, or maybe he's an ethnic minority and he has interaction with the majority ethnicity or majority group. And there are many factors to play with the relationship between the person and the groups which they interact with, and how that influences their acquisition of their second language. And I think that may be relevant to us in this new age. And what do you guys think about that?
I think that this is really interesting. And I noticed something about most of the second language acquisition theories by Krashen, that he emphasized on the idea of learning grammar or learning the language through acquiring it, but not learning it. And the difference between acquiring and learning is that when people learn something, it means that you teach them. It's the process that happens in the classroom. But when you acquire, it's something that happens naturally, like you pick up the language. When you communicate with people and like in a natural and authentic environment, that's where people actually acquire the language and pick up the words and pick up the grammatical structures. Yeah. Do you guys have any comments or want to explain more about your theories?
I think that's all from us. I think we're free. Are we good?
Yeah, I think it's very interesting how linguistics is it all is related to the psychological aspect. You know, how we speak and how we gain language is ultimately based on our cognitive and social aspects. And yeah, I think we can make very interesting essays with this. And so I wish you all the best of luck in doing our work, and let's get this work done. Okay, good luck everyone.
Thank you. Good luck, everyone.
Thank you,
Thank you.
we're
guys.
free. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
everyone.